Hello everyone, thank you for joining my video. I am coming to you from the floor of my kitchen, really up close today because I have to show you a bunch of things here, so really need to do a close-up shot. Today we are going to be taking a closer look at the Roving Cove safe lock, magnetic cabinet lock, baby proofing, baby locking system. You know, you have your kids running around. I have twins and they're getting all the cabinets and we really needed to baby proof. So we want to get something that looks good, can't even see it at all, and that works well. So we're going to be taking a closer look at this. As part of that, we're going to be looking at the key ring, get you a good feel of how this thing is. You know, when you see the pictures on websites, it's hard to get a good feel. So we're going to give you a good feel of the key ring, the lock itself, the mechanisms. I'm going to demo how it works. Not that it's so complicated, but again, to give you a feel of the sound, the feel of how it works. So I'm going to do demo, and then I'm going to talk about installation tools. I'm going to go through a really quick installation. I'm not actually going to install it, but I'm going to show you the installed version and the steps that it took to complete that installation. And I will talk about some issues I encountered, so hopefully you can avoid them too. So without further delay, let's get started. Again, here is the key ring, probably really big enough to fit Shaquille O'Neal's finger. I assume they made it loose on purpose, but the point of the key ring is so that you can have one-handed operation of the key lock. So other magnetic key locks, you kind of have to hold it like this and then open the knob with the other hand. This one, let me just show you. One hand, boom, open it. Just like that. Listen. Okay, you hear it shut and click. So this is really nice, one-handed operation. It looks nice too. You know, you're probably not going to want to wear it out, but it's cool. It's well constructed. The magnet is really strong. And let's see, the wood, I don't know, what is that, like an inch thick? I think it goes up to 1.5 inches, but easily penetrates an inch thick wood to work. Now, here is the packaging. Comes in really nice packaging, not in a loose plastic bag with parts everywhere. So here's the lock and here's the latch. So this latch goes up on the inner lip, and the lock, as you saw, goes on the inside of the door. This lock, so it's all made out of plastic, but construction seems nice, it's sturdy. And the most important part is that you have adhesive that really sticks. So you want to make sure you don't get really, a cheap lock with really cheap adhesive, because as you are yanking it over the years, you don't want it to fall off. So they use 3M tape, which I assume is really nice. It has this starter tape on it, so you like peel this off and you could position it. It doesn't ruin your locks and it easily comes off. You could kind of like tweak it, adjust it to the exact position you want, and I'll go over that more in detail in a bit. And it also has this little thing to engage. So you can hear nice construction, clicks, engage, disengage. So let's say you buy a set for the grandparents, the kids are over, you want to engage so they can't get in their locks. Otherwise, when they're not over, boom, disengage. Or let's say I'm cooking a lot and the kids are sleeping and I need to get in my spice rack, get the cumin out, to get the paprika, to get the salt, pepper, all that stuff. So I would disengage it if I wanted, and then I could just open and close at will. It also has screw holes, which are really nice. So some versions either come with adhesive or just screw holes. This has both, gives you the option, and it comes with a package of screws. I'm not going to use screws, I don't need it right now at least. I'm going to try it with adhesive, see how it works. And that's about it. And then, let me engage it, and then you could see, like magic, boom, boom. And like in my other video, I could play with this all day like this. Okay, enough of that. So now let's do a little demo. You kind of already saw, but as you can see, really clean looking. Can't open the doors. I mean, my back is against this one, but here, now, can't open these doors. One hand, even in the sitting position, which would be really difficult to do with two hands. I could just go, I have my lock right about there. Boom, just open it. There's nothing to it. You can see the lock is here. Engage, disengage if I want. Here's the latch on the lip, okay? And then I have these soft close doors, so listen. Boom, and it latches on. So part of the installation is getting that right, so when you close it, it latches on and it doesn't get stuck. And then, so when you open it, you know, it doesn't catch or anything. So you want to make sure during your installation you're able to test it and it's really smooth. And that's it. Okay, so for installation, it's pretty straightforward in terms of tools. You need a pencil. That's really it. And it comes with these really nice instructions, which are not too complicated. Everything, there we go, right side up. Everything is numbered, and there are visuals that, you know, are really easy to see. We have a stroller that the visuals in the stroller are just like really confusing, but these are really nicely drawn out. So really easy to follow the instructions, and this is all you need to do really. So let me show you a little bit. I'm going to open this up, see how easy that was. First thing you do is you pull off the starter tape, okay? And then you position it, well, actually, first thing it says is find where you want to, the best way to open the door for you. So like where ergonomically it's comfortable to put the lock. So for me, you know, with my finger here on the knob and the lock and the ring key here, like it'd be best to put the lock here. So make a little mark with a pencil here. And then with that mark, that's when you pull off the starter tape and you align this up with that mark. So the mark's right here. So this is like in the center of the mark, okay? And you put it here. Now, this is the key part for me at least. So they say to put this flush with this edge here. Now, this all depends on your bumper. So they say if you have a 4mm bumper or less, 4mm or less, then you put it flush. If you have greater than 4mm, you need to have the latch come out a little bit, right? Not flush, but come out just a tiny bit, like a millimeter or two, from the lip. That way, this latch has enough room, buffer zone in the back to go back and latch on. So what happened is on my first installation, I measured these. This is where I came in an issue. Measured these are 4mm. So I put this last latch flush. I don't know if it was because you had extra starter tape on here and the tape backing that this was actually further back, so it would actually kind of go further back. But then when I took the tape off, installed it, and I closed it, it wasn't latching. So really, on my next installations, I had like a ton of cabinets to do. So on my next one, I actually installed this per the instructions for bumpers that are 5mm greater. So I moved this latch forward a little bit, so like an inch. And because you have the bumper, you have 4 or 5mm to play with. It doesn't hit the door, it doesn't bother anything. The tape doesn't even go to the exact edge, so there's no like sticky stuff at the top here. So this latch is actually not flush, right? So I'm exaggerating here, but it's like forward. So it's not flush, it's like forward a little bit. And that enables this to have enough room when it closes to catch on. So that was my main issue during installation that I came across. I have one cabinet really that when I close it, it doesn't do that locking, okay? So, and I just have to like tap it in to lock, and then when I go to open it, I have to like push it in a little bit to disengage it. And I contacted customer service. I went to see what they could do. Maybe they could send me out a new part so I could redo it. I mean, to me, the instructions, it didn't work, so who knows. Maybe it's installation error, but you know, I think I followed the instructions on that one. So anyways, so you put the starter tape here, you position this where you want. Before you mark it, you also, this is where it gets a little tricky, it's a little difficult. Okay, so this is like precision. So set aside some time. It actually does take a little time. I would suggest taking your time to get it right, because you may have this for a few years. You want to make sure that the action is smooth, everything works. Okay, so you don't want to rush this installation. So what you have to do then, per the instructions, is like a line where the top of this latch comes to the top of, sorry, the top of the latch hook comes to the top of the latch here. Now it's a little tricky because then you peel the starter tape off. You peel the starter tape off, okay, and you have to get it stuck to the door at the same time while lining it up. So you have to have this door open, and it just takes a little maneuvering, okay? And you tape it on, okay, with the starter tape. You just stick it on. Again, because it's a little tricky with, you know, lining it up with the door almost closed here, that you may have to pop it off a little bit, replace it. But again, with the starter tape, it's really easy to do that. The starter tape is a light, tacky adhesive, so you could really easily take it off. It doesn't ruin the wood surface or anything, and you position it exactly where you want, and then you test it out. So you basically have your working version, just not with the full tape, you know, stuck on there. So you test it out. If it all works great, then you do your marking. So you just kind of, here, let me get it in view. You just trace around these corners here like that. Trace some lines here. Okay, you take it off. It's really easy to take off again because it's light tack. You take it off, and then you peel the red backing off, and that's what exposes the real deal, the really strong 3M tape. It's like cement. Supposedly you could take it off later on down the line with some dental floss. There's a way they explain to take it off, and then you rub Goo Gone on it or whatever, and then you use the lines that you traced, and you pop it. You know, you just be careful exactly where you need it. You pop it back in place, and then this one you put back in place in the exact under where you traced it. Okay. And that's it. And then you press it down for like 30 seconds, and they say don't, you know, really pull on it for a day or so, or 12 hours to, you know, make sure that it bonds onto here. And it's really solid stuff. So I don't expect any issues with it. And that was it. So I talked about the issue that I had. The installation is easy. It's just a little time consuming and requires some precision, doesn't require tools. And once it's done, you know, you're set to go, and it looks great. Look, I mean, you can't see anything, can't do it, can't open it, kids can't open it. And anytime I need to get in there, boom, that's it. All right, well, thanks for watching my video.